So just a short, basically a reminder, I don't know what to call it. I basically saw this video, just wanted to take the good from it. It basically was talking about how before your breakthrough, let's say you're doing all the things that, for example, I taught you on my healing guides, how to get God to help you, how to change your life. You're doing your part, and whatever you already know from religion as well. Just overall, the fact that you should pray, you should fast, you should pray at midnight. Um, basically, from 12 a.m. to, I would say, 4 a.m. is the perfect time to pray. You pick when. Like that, you're just doing your part, you're praying, you're asking for help. So these are the 3 signs that your breakthrough or your help is coming. One, they said that you feel overflowing joy. You're just happy, like you just feel great, especially when you pray. Obviously, it rejuvenates the body, the brain, all the stress, all the, mental attack that demons do to our bodies, all the fear, anxiety, worry. It, over time leaves us when we pray. That's also the other part of prayer. It's not just that it changes your life, but that actually helps you physiologically. Okay, so that's part 1. You feel happy. But then, number 2, they said you go through so much pain. Not just pain, but so much pain. Meaning, like, things might seem to get worse. Okay, and obviously anyone would assume, right, that God is not going to help them. The prayer is useless, etc. Those thoughts come in from demons. It doesn't really come from us. But you might agree with it, And then they said, part 3, you sort of desire to isolate, or God pushes you to isolate in order to pray. Not the bad type of isolation, right, where you, right, are starting to want to be by yourself, which is not good, in the unhealthy isolation, right? You could, you know what I mean, that unhealthy isolation, not that one. The good one, where you just want to get away from this noisy day and night, get away from humans. You just want to go into a private place, and you basically have an intention, you have a purpose. You really just want to pray. Like, as you've been praying so far the past few weeks or months, that God is helping you. So you do obviously see God is out there. You do see the benefit of praying. You do see you leaving things that are sin, drugs, alcohol, all the evil stuff that you probably were mixed with. Whatever you are giving up, that obviously it's working. Your life, the way you feel, things are improving, right? God is giving you whatever you ask for, but things are just progressing, sometimes very slowly. Right? It's just that when God does that, He's trying to build a relationship with you. If He just gave you everything all at once, you might just forget about Him. So usually it's just that sort of trial. He wants you to get through, right? The happiness, He gives you the blessing. You prayed for something, or you just need it, obviously, even if you didn't say it. Okay, but then the next days, He allows the devil to attack you like that. He wants you to go through the process of bad and good, how He sometimes withholds the blessing, withholds the answer. He's already going to give you that blessing you asked for. I'm so tired. This airline above me, I'm sorry. Right, basically, He is going to give you that blessing you asked for. Like, the prayer is accepted. Is that type of prayer that then will just take time to come to you. So for that reason, then in that time, right, that He's not answering or giving you, not answering, in that time that the blessing is coming, is where then demons get to attack you. Even if they're not attacking you, you're just going to have your own natural human feelings of feeling like maybe things are not going to go the way you want it or the way that they should. He allows you to get through such feelings and stress and etc. Because, right, you need to actually see that. And then actually see the prayer in front of you. And it comes out. Whatever you want, it happens. Your desires come to you. And now you're like, oh, it works. That sort of, right, feeling is what God is trying to put you through. He's trying to show you that He will help you. But it's like He's trying to allow you to first go through your own natural feelings of not knowing. He's not gonna just tell you he'll do it this day or that week, etc. Because it's like sort of gonna ruin the surprise. Usually when he blesses us, he wants us to be more like a cool event, a cool surprise. Yay, I didn't know, like that. And sometimes it's just obvious, you just know. I don't know. I'm just saying this how God does things. It's his business why he does it, but he's not obviously a director in a movie that's trying to create a hype or a high and then giving you something, because that's kind of like narcissistic. But that's not his reason. It's just that usually your sins are being forgiven as you are allowed to suffer in the process, or has nothing to do with you. People, if it involves others, right? You ask God for something, if it involves others helping you or others doing something with you or others entering your life, then they maybe are going through something and you just have to wait for them, like that. So sometimes that's why it's being delayed, because they have their own life. What God is doing in their life is different. So like that, timing is sort of the problem usually when people feel disheartened, because it's a breakthrough. You're asking for a big change rather than, oh God, give me this simple thing. So demons take advantage of that gap that God is preparing the breakthrough. They hope you isolate, obviously, the unhealthy way. Do it the good way that God is pushing you to, because you'll start to feel it. You'll start to want to go into your room and pray. You'll start to want to find a time, usually at night maybe, where you just want. Maybe you're at work or you're outside, whatever, right? Maybe you felt mad with God or you felt disappointed or whatever, and maybe something happened. You saw something, you listened to something, you feel good again. Okay. Um, Instantly that moment, you're going to want to go hide somewhere so you can pray. It's like a desire that was put into your heart by him. You know, it's an act of worship, and it's also prayer. You're praying for your needs to come to you. So respect that feeling, you know. At night, just wake up, because that obviously is the reason why God does it. Why he wants us to pray at night, because people are sleeping, everyone's dead. Right? Sleep is like dead. They're not gonna distract you anymore. You're not gonna feel like you want to go to a club or bar or whatever, because 12 a.m. probably they're closed at that time, like that. It's just a time that he knows, the way he designed things. You're gonna much more likely, rather than other times, it's gonna be easy for you to pay attention to him, to your problems, because right, we all have anxiety about the next day if we have problems, right? So usually, when do we struggle with it? At night, right? We turn left and right because of whatever problems we have. We can't sleep usually, so that's then the time he also naturally aligned with, then telling us that's the time we should pray to him, the time that we would usually feel all the bad emotions, the ones from ourselves, just our natural feelings of fear, right? We have problems, or the ones demons are sending us through powers they have, like witchcraft, curses, etc. They're sending you bad emotions that don't even belong to you. You know, it's dark energy when they're sending it to you, and for you it's just normal emotion of fear if you just are scared about maybe you have a disease or whatever. um so those three things will happen, is what that video said, and I just wanted to add my thoughts to it, because I've experienced it myself. You know, just extreme joy. I just feel so happy. Nothing's happening yet. You know, I just know it's coming, but then it's like it takes longer. You get pissed off. Not because you're entitled to God. It's just that's just our nature as human beings. We get mad. You know, there's an unhealthy way where you can feel entitled to God, and that sort of, well, why are you not, you know, that sort of disrespectful way. It's not. It's the other type of anger that comes because you're hurt, right? Obviously, if you have any sort of good in you or love in you, you can also feel some love towards God. So it's like you're saying to him, how could you hurt me? It's that type of anger. It's not the other one that's evil and arrogant. Get that one out if that's your problem. You're just mad, you know, not entitled, and you just give up the prayer maybe. In that gap, obviously, so sad. Our life is so sad. As humans, our life is so sad. Demons obviously attack us more now. It's just so stressful. This is when you want to give up on God sometimes. When It's like the way things are designed seems to always be against us, as if he hates us or something, as if he loves demons or something. You start to go crazy um, with such thoughts like that coming to you. But I mean, I'm probably thinking about my situation when I have such thoughts, because for me, it's just endless. But the average human obviously can pray. If it's sincere, they're doing their part. And also, it means you have to do obedience. This video also I was watching, they're like, oh, you can pray all you want, you can fast all you want, but if you're not obeying God, then right, the prayer may not work as much, and the devil can just attack you like that. God is balanced. Someone who's trying to leave sin, he's not going to expect you to obey everything, right? But come on, at least evil, right? Evil person, no one's going to accept their prayer. You're like, I passed that, I'm good to go, I repented, I did my part, I left bad things. I'm just stuck with non-evil type of stuff like drugs, alcohol, etc., clubs. Okay, obviously God is merciful. If he judged humans who do that, right, strictly like that, then obviously no one would get their praise except for who's like that, correct? He obviously helps them. So I'm just saying, maybe certain types of prayers, ones that you could say he could choose to just not give. Maybe it's because of those sins that you do, you know, you have to give them up. Teach yourself, just as you got into them slowly, teach yourself to get away from them slowly. You can't just expect yourself to be perfect. I obviously abruptly quit it. I just mean when you keep making mistakes, when you keep having thoughts telling you to go back, whatever, that relapse type of quality about giving up any bad habit, be merciful to yourself. Understand it's not you, it's demons and their powers that are pushing you back. And when it's you, it's really when you're coming from a evil, arrogant, nasty place. You know when it's you, and you know when maybe evil thoughts came to you, you got pissed off all of a sudden. All of a sudden you're cursing God, and you're done with it. And okay, that's not really you, you know? Like, that's not logical. You don't just boom get mad all of a sudden, right? So that's when you gotta be like, I forgive myself, and ask God to forgive you and repent for what you said or did, and go back again like that. That's when you're gonna have to be gentle with yourself, because you have an enemy. It's not fair. Oh, okay. And then, like, right, just give up bad things that you know religion would tell you to give up. Not things like how religion is corrupted. God's scriptures, the Bible and the Qur'an, are corrupted, and they say things like, right, they have obviously corruption in it or lies in it. And the devil, for example, says abortion is sinful. It's not sinful. um like that. Don't obviously anything that it's saying is bad for you if it's not logical, if it's not moral. When it says that, that's not what God is seeing as a sin, obviously. So at least you get to be safe if you've been following my podcast, because you're one of the rare humans who knows that these books are corrupted, while others don't know. So they obviously scared of this type of God in their mind, right? That's like a dictator, really evil, tells you normal things are sinful, and evil, filthy things like perversion is, he says it's okay. Obviously that freaks you out, correct? Obviously you can't then follow that scripture. What the hell? Right? And you're gonna think, oh no, my prayers are not gonna be accepted if I don't agree with the evil in these books. No, that's from the devil. Just do good, leave the bad, use your conscience. Anything that's unjust, God is not the author of it, such as saying abortion is sinful or whatever. No, it's not. People have reasons why they need it. Um, so just follow the good and leave the bad. You know, when I say sin, God doesn't like perversion, obviously, so don't let these books corrupt you into thinking that's him talking about all this filthy perversions in it and sexisms. So really, for you, since character would not be a problem by now, if you've been following this podcast, it's just for you things that you know are just not healthy. That also is considered a sin, you know, like alcohol, etc. God wants you to give that up. Maybe he's trying to push you to give it up. If you're obviously a non-Muslim, or you're trying to find him, and of course he's not really judging you like someone who knows him and worship, you know, he's balanced. That's not fair, obviously. So he's balanced, you know, Because even if you do give this stuff up, you could one day do them, right? It's just one of those things where sin will always be in your life until you die. There are some people who really mastered it, right? Really can go sinless with these sort of big things, right? But not big things, sorry, medium type of sins. They're like medium. Big would be like evil, immorality. But I'll tell you what basically came to my mind when the video said you have to obey God, don't just pray, because that could also be ruining your prayers. The first thing that came to my mind for me was obviously the obedience of, right, doing what he wanted, in the sense that he obviously wants us to pray, right? Okay, when things don't work, when things take time, what do you think he wants us to do? To still keep praying, right? To still keep having faith in him, like that type of obedience. The one that you're not necessarily doing something or leaving something, but it's more of a quality, you know? The actual quality itself of having faith in him, or just being obedient to him, that he's, right, obviously gonna help you just keep doing your thing. That is one that I would say people would struggle with, you know? Because people who are usually religious and praying a lot, they're obviously not gonna have problems like drugs, alcohol in their life. They obviously, right? You know, I'm talking about good people. Since majority of those in religion are evil. Okay, so their problem is not gonna be like sin of that kind. It's gonna be probably something else, more of a belief, more of a way they view God, and they just sort of need to fight with that a little bit, and they'll stop. You know, just keep praying. That's what he obviously wants you to do. That type of obedience. Keep doing your thing that he taught you. You know, just be faithful as you wait. That type of obedience. If you don't have that in your heart, you have a completely different emotion, right, towards him. It could obviously be affecting the prayer, you know, and just know that the devil obviously look for that. He'll try to use that against you, right? Because he knows deep down, you know. Again, I'm not telling you you cannot be angry with God, because it's just our natural feelings. He does not prevent us from having our natural feelings. We have the right to be angry if our life is going in weird places. That's just an emotion. I mean, like the way you view him, in the sense that maybe you cuss him out, you curse him out, you know, just the way you sort of conduct yourself towards him mentally and behaviorally. That type of disobedience, where you're not sort of treating him with respect in that sense. You're not holding your tongue when those emotions come over you, because he's not going to hold you accountable for what comes over you. He knows it's from the demon. Just disagree with it. Just be like, no, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to question you about why you're not. I'm not going to just waste my energy. Just don't waste your energy. You know, just pray. Fix your life in the ways that you, the human, have power to fix. Take care of yourself and just wait. Like that. You know, you're not even going to waste your time trying to understand what's going on, because is that even possible? No, you can't see him and you can't see what's going on spiritually. So obviously then it's going to result in you agreeing with the angry thoughts. You're going to cuss him out. you're gonna just say to him, you know what, I'm done with you. Maybe you're not someone who would cuss out. Okay, you're gonna just tell him, I'm done with you, I'm done. Like that. That's sort of, we would say, sort of, not necessarily disobedience, but more like that sort of disobedience, you know? You just sort of like, you leave him and stuff. Well, obviously that impacted the prayer now, right? I know it's hard, but he appreciates you putting in the effort to keep coming back. He's proud of that. He's basically a God that is proud every time you fight with that, instead of a God that's thinking, you know, sort of entitled way towards you. I don't think God is entitled towards us as a creation. You know, even though he's a God, I don't think he sits there thinking, how dare you? You know, it's more of a humble God. He's more of just proud. He knows that's a difficult burden. He knows those thoughts are heavy. He knows those emotions are heavy. He knows you're created weak. You're right. You're human. If you just little thing touches you, you bleed. He knows you're weak, right? He's proud. He's more of a proud God. It's like he's watching and the test is there. Or this evil devil is allowed to attack you and he's just hoping you pass the test. Hoping you don't put the focus on the demons, but you put the focus more on paradise and the great life you're going to have in the future. In the next life, they get to go to hell. And in this life, right, He hopes you put the focus on the great things he can give you, despite some of them looking like he can't do it, right? Like things that were lost. All the years that you lost, that you couldn't enjoy, that sort of stuff that we all think God cannot help or fix, right? He can find a way. The Bible always talks about restoring things to you. That God can restore your lost years, your lost blessings, like that. He can find a way, right, to accumulate everything you lost. Maybe money, health, beauty, like all the stuff you lost. He can just find a quick way to accumulate it, in a way that you would say it was restored. You know what? We're not going to say it's the same thing, right? But it's restored in a sense that you could at least accept it like a compensation, like you went to court, you spoke to God and he gave you this, like that. You could at least accept it and be like, thanks, just have faith that that's possible, even though you and I don't see that, even though that we don't know how that's possible. God, usually people go to him to fix problems, not to restore anything. All the years you lost, all the happiness, the health, the beauty, the way you look, all the ideas, the greatness you wanted to accomplish, everything was sabotaged. Your life just went in weird ways by these demons attacking your life. Bad things happening to you, you losing people you love, evil humans always surrounding you. All the stuff you could have done in those years, right? That's what we mean by lost years. You can just find a way to restore it, All the money, for example, you could have made, like me, from all the businesses I could have had all these years, like the last 15 years or something. He can find a way to accumulate all that wealth and give that to me in a sense that, let's say I start a business and it can just go skyrocket and all that success and wealth can come instantly that you could have had, right, in those years like that. He could just find a way to restore it to you, even though to you you're like, how is that possible? That's the sort of other obedience he wants. Just the simple belief that I know it's hard. I struggle with it myself. Just the simple idea that he can do it. That's, I think, what the test is. When we go through situations like this, where it's not always about, God, give me this. You obviously know he's a good God. He's going to give that blessing. But when it seems like a breakthrough, right, you're asking for a transformation to a lot of the things in your life that are going haywire, we struggle to believe he can even fix it. Correct? That is the belief he wants. And your job and my job is just to wait and see. And then be amazed. And again, obviously, we do believe God can do anything. As long as we believe in a God, we know he's great. No, it's the fact that he usually doesn't do that, right? God doesn't usually do miracles or big stuff for everyone. It's like a unique experience. It's like a unique experience, right? That only some people got to experience, maybe. So that's kind of why we struggle. Not because we're bad as human beings and we just hate him or something. No, it's because God usually doesn't do things like that, right? He just lets life go on. People just suffer and we all think, where is he, right? So it's like that. When we pray, we're not like those people, though. It's kind of different. It's different when you pray and just ask him to never put you in those huge burdens that he put a lot of people through, like certain prophets. Like, his name is Yusuf in Arabic. um English would be Job, I guess. No, what was his name in English? John, I think. It's confusing. I think it's Job. Yeah, that prophet suffered so long in jail or prison, wherever they put him in. Like, you know what I mean? People like that obviously scare the hell out of me when I see God did that to them. I would never want to be in that situation. I've suffered, right, almost 30 years of my life. I'm almost, right? But still, I wasn't in a prison for 10, 20 years, correct? So that's what I'm saying. Ask him for the things you obviously don't want him to ever test you with. Also ask him for protection, from death, premature death, suicide, being really twisted mentally, developing a lot of mental problems. Whatever you have now, ask him to take it out. If you're possessed, ask him to cast the demons out of you not physically, sorry, get them out of your body, your mind. Deliver you from all generational bloodline and all other demons that entered your life, demons from the bloodline, the generational, through sin, and other ways they entered your life. The most harmful would be generational and bloodline because they seem to stick longer. They don't leave us quickly. They really torture people. Ones that entered other ways, like maybe you committed a sin, they usually leave maybe if you stop that sin. So the ones I deal with are bloodline and generational. It has nothing to do with me. I didn't do something to attract them. They were already in that family's bloodline. Through evil humans in that family, whatever sin they used to commit, these demons are just there. And for the sake of argument, if they were not there through bloodline or generational, they still try to enter people's lives, which is obviously how they enter these bloodlines anyway in the first place. They just do witchcraft to people. They just do things. They slowly enter people's life. But yeah, the Bible does a good job, and Christianity does a good job on bloodline, generational. I would advise you to actually listen to it. Just go on YouTube, listen to, sort of educated people talk about bloodline and generational demons and curses. You're going to understand your problems, especially if your family's abusive. It's really going to make you feel comfortable. You're going to be like, I know what my problem is. I knew it. You're going to be like, it's not my problem. All of a sudden, my life went downhill. Why did I develop all these addictions? And I was kind of happy and I had plans. And why did my life go in the opposite direction? Why did I lose everything? Why did I start to hate God all of a sudden like that? You're going to understand it's those demons who caused it. And they did the same to many humans in your generation way before you. So do that. There's obviously Christian preachers who do a horrible job. If they make you uncomfortable, they talk too much about forgiveness and stuff, just get out. Because you don't have to forgive anyone. God is not forced you to forgive anyone. It's your choice who you forgive. That would be an injustice to us to force us to forgive, especially since there are humans you're not supposed to forgive, like rapists and stuff. Okay, and just humans who are really evil, who ruined your life, like abusive families, you're not supposed to forgive them. So, yeah, I told you the bad parts of these two scriptures, the parts that are unjust and hurts the victim, hurts the good person, that's not from God. So just ignore those parts. Listen to the normal parts. They're giving you knowledge about demons and their powers and stuff like that, and the solutions they give, like certain prayers and fasting, and right, that I usually give you anyway. I try to accumulate all the knowledge God taught me overall, just through my experiences. I don't read these books necessarily to get it. It's just these things are also some of them in the books, correct? So take the good on how to deal with it. Inshallah, I'm gonna upload these prayers. I'm going to make sure they're not too long. They're not even going to reach 10 minutes, and they're going to be to the point and really going to attack specific terminologies that we need to say in prayer rather than the way we humans just pray, oh, God, help me. It's so long, right? You get bored or tired with it. It's so stressful. But if it's specific terminologies and words you're using, you can just write it down, repeat it every night when you get up at midnight, like that. And you're going to see the results manifesting quickly. So to that person, right, that I obviously created the podcast for. Obviously, you know who you are. I just don't like to address you like I used to before because that's not good for you or me. Just know that I'm already doing these prayers for you, so you don't have to burden yourself with the fact that, right, you're still building yourself up to understand this stuff. But obviously, it's good to pray for yourself way more than someone praying for you. It's just that, you know what I mean? Since it's taking me time, and since you also might go online, but you get overwhelmed, it's okay. I'm doing it for you. And I tell you this so that then you don't have anxiety that, right, you haven't been praying for yourself so far. Oh no, I'm doomed. It's going to take longer to get these demons out of my life than if I start now or in the future. I've been doing it for you for so long. You're almost there. Because I'm doing the praying, I get to see what's about to happen. Just like you would if you prayed for yourself, right? Obviously, I know you're praying for yourself too. Only God knows what you're doing. But I get to, since I'm praying for someone, I get to get that knowledge from God too, the way he would reveal to whoever prays for themselves, right? Whoever prays for you, also God gives them information too as to sort of the process, that how demons are leaving, etc. So you're almost there. It's very soon. This year is going to be the year that you and I are going to be free from these generational and bloodline curses and demons and other demons that terrorize us through other powers and curses they have. This is our year, just so you know. It's not next year, it's this year. Inshallah, that's what I'm saying. We have to have that faith. We have to have that belief. Is this year. Because I thought just came to me saying, no, it's not. I literally had an intrusive thought that was so evil and loud to my ears. Like, no, it probably is next year. Shut up. I told you to say shut up to evil thoughts. So yeah, have faith that it's this year. We sort of started the process last year. Your life is changing and my life is changing, even though for me it doesn't seem like it. I'm kind of stuck in a certain situation. But that's what I'm saying. We have to have the obedience towards God where we believe He's going to do it, no matter how sort of... Because I deal with a lot of anger towards God, just so you know. I don't like to hide what I deal with from whoever listens, right? Because obviously, if I ever become someone in the future that helps people, anyone would think, oh, don't tell them this about yourself, because I'm not an evil person. I don't desire to hide that I also struggle with faith, because that's not, right? That's not possible. You have to struggle with faith. We all do. So, right? Someone who's fake would be like these obvious. That's how you know someone's a hypocrite, right? Religious preacher. They act like God is good. God makes their life easy all the time. You sometimes feel like they've never suffered a day in their life. The way they talk about God is the way they just make it seem like everything is quick and easy. And what are you talking about? God makes people suffer. Hello, you know. A good person who truly is connected to God, whichever way they could be misguided as to who He is, right? Maybe they think He's Jesus. My goodness, they're gonna go through what you expect them to go through. Times where they start to question God, if He's gonna help them or not, etc. If He cares about them. It's just, you get me. We're supposed to have that because that's actually something God created. Faith is a test. You know what I'm saying? That's actually why He delays helping you. He wants you to pass the test of faith. Do you believe that He's gonna, be there with you at the end? We can all easily, quickly say yes, right? That's what I'm saying. We all know something, but that doesn't mean we personally have reached that level where we firmly believe it's gonna happen, correct? That's the test. We cannot use other people as examples. We cannot use religion as example. We cannot use the fact that, God obviously helps people as example, because that's not what faith means. Having a difficulty with faith. That's not what it means, right? It doesn't mean you don't believe God helps people or anything like that. No. That would be more like disbelief, maybe, right? You don't even think He exists. No, you just think He won't help you. You think it's you that could have a problem, right? Someone like me who obviously knows a lot about religion, who's connected to God. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how close I am to Him, because it's not the type of faith about, right, believing in Him or worship. It's not that one, right? I know He's good and He helps people every day. Yeah, but the faith, right, when I tell you I struggle with it, is He going to help me? There you go. You obviously, the thought will come to your mind saying, what? If He helps others, obviously He has to help you. That's not our thought. That's the demon. That's the demon who tries to convince us that, yes, you, the human, know He helps everyone, right? If obviously someone goes to God, we all know the answer is yes, He'll help them. But that voice is trying to get you to believe just not for you. Just you are different. For you, He's going to take 10 more years. It's us, the individual, that's actually praying, that they're trying to convince for you He's going to be different with you. So we cannot we cannot skip this type of attack from the demons. We cannot skip this type of demonic attack just because we, right, love God or close to Him or whatever, because it has nothing to do with how you feel towards Him. It doesn't matter how much you like Him or feel towards Him or how many times He's helped you before, and, right, you've seen it with your own eyes. It doesn't matter. It's not that we think He's bad or He won't help us. It's that this specific situation number 39, that we think He won't do something. That's what faith is. You struggle certain times, certain situations. You think He's saying, I'm not going to help you. It's very hard to fight with those thoughts. Why? Because you're seeing it with your own two eyes. He's not actually helping you. You see what I'm saying? Demons are a creation like you and I. So they can use things that you and I could think of, right? We don't see something, we think it's not there, right? So they use that against us. They say, hey, you obviously your life is not improving. Therefore, that means it's not going to improve. How can you fight with that? You're not God. That's obviously dumb, right? You wouldn't be in that situation if you were God. You get what I mean? I was trying to say you don't have the knowledge that God has. No, you're not God. Goodness, they ruined my words. You don't have the knowledge that God has, right? You don't know what's going to happen in the future. So then it's easy to fall into what they say. So that's what I'm saying. You have to convince yourself, not just right that your prayers will be answered, because prayers can be answered, but something totally different can happen, right? You have to also believe exactly the way you prayed, exactly the things you want, even things you didn't say to God that you can't maybe remember, or, right? It's too long to explain. Just the sort of hidden way that you have desires to ask or say something, or you want something from Him that maybe didn't even come out of your mouth. It's going to be that exact way. Or, keyword, or, better. I would say that's the only way He wouldn't give you what you wanted. Oh, my words got ruined. He would be giving you something better. There you go. A thought just came to me. I hope you got the thought too, so you can see we're being attacked by demons. A thought just said to me, what do you mean? You're going to get what you want or better. It wasn't this long, okay? It's like very quick. It said to me basically, what if God just gives you basic average? What do you mean? Exactly what you want or better. Basically, I had a thought that said, it's like an image too. It's very weird. I saw the word average in front of me written out. Sometimes thoughts are written out. It said, what if He just gives people just the average? You ask for something, you just get the basic. You don't get exactly what you asked for or better. Oh, Lord, have mercy. That's why it's important what we think and what we feel. And that's why they're always coming after our thoughts and feelings, right? They're putting their own thoughts and feelings into us, correct? You agree the thought is trying to change how we feel and think, because that shows you the solution to getting what you want from God. How you think and feel matters. So if you truly believe in this big thing about God, right? You think He's going to do all this wonderful stuff for you, but you don't actually know. He didn't do anything to say that to you. And that's probably not even the general way other humans got what, they asked for. But you think so highly of Him, He's going to be so happy that you think of Him that way. Just like you and I, if we're friends, and you think so highly of me, right? You truly cherish me. Aren't I going to love you more for that? Or if you think sort of average of me like that. So He appreciates that. Therefore, He's actually going to give you that sort of great way what you wanted from Him. He's going to give you the exact way you thought He would, even if that wasn't the plan in His mind. It's the way you think that also matters to Him. So then that's why people say have faith. They don't just mean have faith in the sense that believe God will help you or something, because then they would use the word believe. Really, when they say have faith, they really mean have faith in the impossible, more so just the obvious possible, that obviously He could give all of us to fix our problem, right? You're hungry, He gives you food. Okay, that's possible. Impossible would be more like He gave you abundant wealth and health as well, that you have all the food in the world, maybe like that. just so wealthy. You have hundreds of chefs cooking whatever you like for you every day. You just hire them like that. That's sort of impossible. The impossible is possible. So we have to believe and have faith in that. And then it really will manifest slowly. Okay, take care of yourself.